This is bamboo drifting, a practice that's hugely popular in parts of China. Instead of using boats, people cross rivers on thick, hollow bamboo poles. Each pole is strong enough to carry over 400 pounds. But the real challenge isn't floating. It's balancing. It takes years of practice to stay upright on a single bamboo pole. Once mastered, people can travel long distances across the water. Here's why blind people can actually follow a live soccer match. At first, it looks like he's just touching a tablet, but it's way more advanced than that. In France, engineers created a special device that lets blind fans experience games through touch. A magnetic cursor moves across the surface in real time, tracking the ball's exact position on the field. Vibrations signal shots and even goals. This device turns the match into a tactile experience, letting blind spectators follow the action, almost like they can see it.
A group of people were playing a reaction challenge game. The host shouted, "The rules are simple. If I say lollipop, you lick it. If I say soap, you smell it." A participant confidently replied, "Okay, that's easy. Let's try." The host started shouting, "Lollipop, lollipop, soap, soap." Everyone responded quickly, "Lollipop, soap, lollipop, soap. Switch hands, switch hands." Someone shouted. After switching hands, the difficulty increased slightly. "Soap, lollipop, soap, soap, soap." The audience burst into laughter. "Ha ha ha, lollipop, soap, soap, ha ha ha." It doesn't seem to have anything to do with reaction time. The host analyzed. It's mainly about the soap. Licking it once is fine, but if he's mentally averse to it, he definitely won't lick it. I understand. The participant nodded. The host wanted to escalate the challenge. "Let's try something different. Wasabi." "Sure. The rules remain the same. Say lollipop and lick. Say wasabi and smell." The game continued. Lollipop, wasabi, lollipop, wasabi, lollipop, wasabi. Everyone switched hands and continued, their reactions getting faster and faster. "Ha ha ha, lollipop, wasabi, lollipop, wasabi." Suddenly, the host pulled out a new prop. "Okay, you've definitely never tried this before. Dog poop." The participants froze instantly, and the whole audience burst into laughter. The host summarized, "Actually, it's just like you said. If you don't have any resistance, you'll definitely complete the task. If you have that one lick and you'll die feeling, you definitely won't lick it." Laughter filled the air, and the challenge was upgraded once again.
Here's why waiters start running when you order this ice cream. Most people think it's because the ice cream melts too fast, but that's not the real reason. The magic happens with the liquid chocolate poured on top. As soon as it hits the ice cream, it hardens into a crispy shell. If they wait too long, the shell fully sets and loses that perfect crack. That's why waiters rush it to you right away.
This man's workers hate him for this. Grinning face with sweat, he decided to prepare a meal for his employees in a digger bucket tractor pot of food, but his workers, total slackers. So, to get a little revenge, he went all out. He poured 5 liters of oil and added about 10 eggs, mixed with a work shovel, egg hammer and wrench. Then, he tossed in a whole basket of tomatoes, the same amount of peppers, French fries, mushrooms, and stirred it all together. Potato, tomato, hot pepper. Next, he added Chinese cabbage and mixed again, leafy green. To cook it all, he stirred the digger like a professional chef. Man cook. But wait, that's not all. He threw in some spicy spices, gave it another mix, and went to serve the meal to his workers. Watch how happy they are, faced with tears of joy.
They did a fake tattoo prank on their mom. Mom smacks hard. Mom got even angrier. She has another way to remove the tattoos.
China just made a bed so comfortable. Even the wealthiest men in Dubai are fighting over it. You can jump on it as hard as you want, and you won't feel a thing. That's because it's not your typical foam or spring mattress. This one's built with silicone gel, which absorbs every single impact. No matter how hard you bounce, it stays smooth and soft. It's so advanced. People are already calling it the most comfortable bed in the world.
They closed the cockpit curtains so the pilot couldn't see, even though he had a plane full of passengers. Why? Because he had bet his first officer that he could land the plane blind, using only the instruments. He approached the runway, but he was too fast. Air traffic control told him to abort the landing, but he ignored them and kept going. When the wheels hit the tarmac, the plane flipped and caught fire, killing 70 of the 94 passengers. And somehow, the pilot who caused it all survived. He served just 6 years in prison before being released.
Here's why waterbeds have almost disappeared. Waterbeds were huge in the 70s because people thought they were great for your health. And the idea of floating in your own room felt like living in the future. Sounds amazing, right? But waterbeds aren't actually comfortable for everyone. Even a small movement sets everything in motion, like being on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And the worst part? They can be really dangerous. They need regular cleaning. And even a tiny hole can flood your entire house.
A guy was out for a walk by the lake when he accidentally fell in. He couldn't swim and started struggling, even swallowing a few mouthfuls of water. Thankfully, his puffer jacket kept him floating. Someone passed by on the shore, but he was too embarrassed to ask for help. Thinking he hadn't completely sunk, he decided to drift back to shore. After floating for a whole day and night, he finally reached a small island. It was a holiday, and the island was packed with tourists. Feeling too embarrassed to ask for help again, he tried to study the current, hoping to reach the shore. At night, he hid in the bushes, waiting for darkness. But no matter how hard he tried, the current always pushed him back. 2 days later, exhausted, he finally gave up his pride and quietly called for help. That's when the tourists came to his rescue.
As she dropped coins into the cup, she didn't notice her engagement ring fall in. When he saw it, he couldn't believe his eyes. A jeweler offered him $4,000, which could mean a fresh start for him. But it also meant betraying the one person who showed him kindness. So, he held onto the ring, waiting at the same spot they had met. When she finally returned, he gave it back without asking for anything. The woman was so moved. She ended up raising nearly $200,000 for him, over 50 times what the ring was worth. He bought a house and reconnected with his long-lost family, all because he chose to do the right thing.